let's chat for a minute. Whether you're working for Amazon already or if you're considering working for Amazon, this video is for you. The other night I was leaving my job and two women were outside saying that they wanted to apply, but they were asking me what I thought about the job, which made me think this is something that a lot of people are really concerned about or wondering about, and that's the pros and cons of working for Amazon. So we're gonna go through it. Let's get started. Okay, so let's start first with the pros. When I was making this list, I was really surprised that there are actually more pros than cons, because sometimes at the end of the night, all I see is the cons, okay? We're gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it 100 this whole video, and some of the things may be pros to me, but maybe cons to you. So keep that in mind also, okay? But first of all, the first one I have as a pro is the base pay is pretty good, because here in the South, I think minimum wage is $7.25, $7.50. I'm not really even sure what minimum wage is, but I know it's not $15. And that is what Amazon pays as the base pay anywhere. They'll actually pay more in certain areas depending on where you're living. But $15 an hour base pay is actually very, very good. Now, on top of the base pay, if you work nights, here there's a 60-cent differential difference, so you get an extra 60 cents per hour. And then if you work on weekends, I know it's an extra, I don't know if it's $1.30, $1.50 for working weekends also. So with that all along, you could make, upwards of $16.40, $17 an hour, depending on your shift and what you do per hour. And with minimum wage being so low, that's actually very good, and that's definitely pro number one. Pro number two, it is so easy to get hired at Amazon. I told you guys about the hiring process. I'll link a video down below on how I got hired. There was no interview. I mean, they will hire your grandmama, your granddaddy, your great uncle. I mean, as long as you're over 18, they will hire you. There's no age restriction. You can't be too old. There are some people in their 60s that are working at Amazon, and they're doing it. I mean, I guess you have to do what you have to do. If that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do. Maybe some people just like doing it. Maybe some people enjoy it. But that is definitely a pro. It is so easy to get hired. Like I said, I went online. I was not expecting to be hired immediately, but that's exactly what happened. If you are needing a job, if you're broke and you need to working next week, Amazon will hire you. If you can get to that application, if you can fill out the application and you pass your drug test, you pass your background check, you're basically in there. At that point, they'll send you an email requesting you to come in. It'll set up your date for your hire date, or the date that you will start. You'll have your schedule picked out, and that's it. You're in there. It is so easy to get hired at Amazon. Number three, it's so easy to take off work with no explanation. It is so easy to take off work with no explanation. They have this thing called unpaid time off, and I think you get 20 hours per quarter. And yes, you can use that time anytime you're late, anytime you just are tired, you want to leave your shift early. You don't get docked for it, you don't get paid for it, but that's time that you can take. So that's 20 hours per quarter. If you don't use it, you will lose it. So they do recommend that you use it. I try not to take that, but I have to say that last week I was tired and I'm like, I'm going to take some unpaid time off. Thank you. But that's your prerogative. You just can't use it up. If you use it up and you don't have any time, any personal time, anything, you will lose your job. So you do have to use it sparingly, and you always want to hold on to some in case something comes up that you just can't help. So That is something that is very good, and you can just leave without any explanation, as far as I've seen a lot of people say. But at my job, yeah, my boss wants to know, what, are you okay, what's going on? And maybe because it's a new fulfillment center, I don't know, but I hear a lot of people say you can just clock out and just leave and there's no question. So that is very good, that you can just leave when you want. Number 4, there's a 5-minute grace period for you to clock in and out. A lot of jobs do not allow that. If they do, they may allow 1 minute. I've worked at a job not far from here where it was just 1 minute grace, but you have 5-minute grace period to clock in or out, and you're covered. You're not docked. You won't get in trouble for it, which is very, very good. Number 5, the lax dress code. You can wear whatever you want, as long as it's decent and you're not, showing too much. But you're coming to work. You're not coming to be cute. You're not coming to attract attention to yourself. You're trying to get work done. You're gonna sweat, so you can be comfortable. You can wear jeans, hat, t-shirts, anything like that. I mean, you can dress comfortably, shorts, whatever. That is definitely a plus, where you don't have to wear a uniform. You don't have to be dressed a certain way. You can just be casual, comfortable, whatever fits comfortably to you, whatever it fits you and is comfortable to you. Okay, and number 6 is they provide your PPE for you, your protective equipment that you have to wear. You don't have to purchase it. They provide that for you. They give you a voucher, and that voucher will allow you to purchase your steel-toed shoes or your composite shoes that you are required to wear, which is a con to me, but I'll talk about that later in the cons. You will be able to, purchase your shoes. And they also have a vending machine where anything that you need, as far as gloves, as far as your vest, your box cutters, whatever you need is in the vending machine. And I think you can make 2 of those a week. You can get two items per week. And that's very nice. If you get tired of your gloves, if they're dirty, if they're worn, you can just go to the vending machine and get you a new pair, which is very nice. I do like that. That is definitely a pro. Okay, number 7, their schedule. I absolutely love working 4 days, having 3 days off. Most regular jobs, you work 5 and you have 2 off, but you actually have 3 full days off. And if you work night shift, you also have another almost whole day. So to me, it actually feels like I have a lot of time off, because for my schedule, when I get off on Sunday morning at 4:30, I have that whole day Sunday. I have all day Monday. I have all day Tuesday. I have all day Wednesday until I go to work Wednesday night. So I absolutely do love that. I feel like I have more time for myself. But the thing is, do you feel like doing anything during that time? And I can say that after my first week, I was shut down for the whole 4 days off or 3 days off. But as time goes on, my body is adjusting. I'm adjusting pretty good. And by Monday, I'm pretty much ready to handle business and do whatever I have to do. So that does get better. If you've just started, don't get discouraged. It does get better. Okay, so the next thing I have as a pro, to me, is getting paid every week. I love getting paid every week. I absolutely love it. I know a lot of people like to see their money pile up into 2 weeks and then you get that 2-week pay. But yeah, I like getting paid every week. It just depends on what you like. And a lot of people, we get paid every Friday. A lot of people use Chime, where I work, and they get their check every Wednesday. So it's up to you. I don't do that. I just let it go to my regular account, which I prefer. But yeah, that's definitely a pro. If you like getting paid every week, that's a good thing. That's definitely a pro. Okay, and number 9, they allow overtime, and it's paid at time and a half. So, I mean, they do, and there is some required overtime that you do have to use. I haven't even got that far yet, but there are some things that sometimes you have to work overtime. It is required. And at time and a half, that's good. If you need more money, you can work for your money. That's up to you. You can do what you need to get yourself where you're trying to get to. So that's definitely a pro. And number 10, they have great benefits. Great benefits. They have the insurance, your health insurance. They have long-term disability, short-term disability. They have vision, dental, health, everything. You have to choose your own plans. They provide life insurance for you. You can also purchase extra life insurance, 401k. Oh, it's the truth. They've got great benefits. They've got great benefits. They match you they match a percentage of what you put in. It's great. I mean, they really do have great benefits. It's definitely some good pros to this job. There are definitely pros to this job. Now let's get to the cons. Con number 1 is repetitive labor. Physical labor. Repetitive physical labor. Okay, so I have to say, being a female, being over 40, there's nothing that I really can't do. It's the fact that you're doing it over and over and over and over that can kind of get to you if you let it. I found for me that relaxing my body really does help me instead of tensing up. When I let myself get tensed up, it's harder. It's harder on your body. And you may start hurting or aching more. But I also have another video I'll leave down below how I take a half a Tylenol before my shift and I take a half a Tylenol during my shift, and it helps tremendously. There are ways you can get around this because you really do have to take care of yourself physically doing this job, because they will work you to the bone if you let them. So that's con number 1. Con number 2, you're on your feet the whole time. The entire time, except for when you go on your breaks. You get 2 30-minute breaks. And otherwise, you are standing. You're not allowed to sit. So that causes for you to really have to really change the way that you stand. You have to change the way that you walk. And for me, I drive a pit, so that means I have to stand constantly on that pit. But I've learned how to shift my weight, gradually. You have to wear comfortable shoes. There's just so much to it, you guys. There's a lot to it to get you through this job. You can do it. It's not impossible, but you have to be creative. You have to think on your feet. You have to think on your feet and to keep yourself through, so you can make it through, the night without causing yourself harm, without causing yourself pain. Because it does get to where your feet are fatigued, very much so, from standing all day. If your shoes aren't right, you're not going to be able to make it. I mean, you also have to, I've also started doing foot exercises. There are things you can do to help yourself with this, and I've linked the video down below on things you can do to help yourself, okay? But that's a definite con. There are no chairs. No, you cannot sit on the floor. You cannot sit on the floor. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I see a lot of people where I work, they will go to the bathroom and hang out in the bathroom so they can sit. Just saying. They sit on the toilet just to do that. I don't do that, but I understand why, because it's like my feet are hurting. My feet are killing me. Okay, but I have other ways that I do to cope with mine, but that's what a lot of people do. Anyway, con number 2. Let's move on to number 3. You have to meet rate. Now, in my facility, we haven't got to that point yet, but it's closely heading to that point. Not only do you have to be extremely accurate, but they expect you to meet rates. They have rates that they set up that you're supposed to stow. If you're a stower or picker, whatever you do, you have a certain number that you're supposed to do every few minutes, per hour, whatever that is. So that's another added con in my book, because when you're in pain, you're really not caring about how much you're stowing, or how much you're picking. Okay? Think about that. Number 4, no music allowed. We all can get down with some music, right? I mean, I know when I'm cleaning, I like my music. When I'm driving, I like my music. I feel like we all can work better with music, but the fact that you have to concentrate on what you're doing, and it's very easy to make mistakes. The job is easy, but if you're not focused, I understand why they do that. If you're not focused, you can make mistakes. It can cause more mistakes by you listening to music and not really paying attention on what you're doing. So I understand it, but it's definitely a con. It's definitely a con in my book. And number 5 is the breaks. We only get 2 breaks. And when your feet are hurting, you feel like you need more breaks. I'm just keeping it real with you, okay? You feel like you need more breaks than 2 breaks. But the first break where you clock out for us is great. You got a full 30 minutes. You know, you can't, once you clock out, they won't even let you clock back in until your full 30 minutes is up. The second break I have a problem with. The second break is a break where you don't clock out, but it's scan to scan. So that means from the last time that I scanned an item, I have to drive my full big pit all the way around, find a parking space, which is hard, find a parking space, park my pit, take off my harness that I have to wear, and then walk to the break room, walk to wherever I'm trying to go, get a snack, get a drink, and then make it back to my pit, walk all the way back to my pit, wherever that may be, put back my harness, get in my pit, drive my pit to where I can stow next, find a place to stow, and stow your next item within that time frame. So within 30 minutes, I have to do all of that. And when I tell you this place is huge, it's massive, it's no way to get anywhere quick. And if you can't find a parking place, it's eating your time. So sometimes you may get a 10-15 minute break. Sometimes you may not. That's all I gotta say. The breaks, it's a con. Next thing, long hours. That's why I was telling you, I love the 4 days on, 3 days off. Love that. But the 10-hour shift on your feet the whole time is daunting. It can be daunting. And if there's no work to do and you're having to stand for a couple of hours, you're having to stand for a couple of hours. There's no sitting. No sitting. Your feet will be killing you. There is no other way to put it, because we're all hopping on one foot and the other. Everybody's hopping on one foot, on the other foot, one foot, other foot. That's the only way you're gonna make it. So yeah, that's a con. Another con I have is you have to wear your hair up. And if you have long hair like me, I love wearing my hair down. I like different ways. I like wearing it straight. I like wearing it curly. But there is no way you can do it at this job, especially what I do. The harness that I wear has a hook behind my neck, and if my hair is down, it gets caught it's a problem. My hair gets caught. It can get caught in conveyor belts. It can just get caught in a lot of things. Okay, so it's a hazard to have your hair down. So therefore, I'm having to be creative, hence this, in finding ways to wear my hair that, you know, it's not ugly, and wearing it back in a ponytail or a bun, because you even can't even wear a ponytail. It has to be up. It has to be out of the way. I mean, to the front, up, somewhere out of the way. That's a con for me. Okay, number 8, the shoes. You have to wear composite shoes. I understand why, because I dropped a couple of boxes on my toes. I understand the need for composite shoes, but they're very uncomfortable. So I had to go and purchase a new pair. I showed you guys the pair that I purchased from Zappos that they supplied for me, that Amazon supplied the voucher for. Those shoes are so uncomfortable. So last night I went and got me some more Skechers, but I got men's Skechers composites, and I'll show those in another video. They seem very comfortable, but I'll have to try those out. I mean, you have to be comfortable to do your job. If you're not comfortable, you're not going to be effective to do your job. So that's what I was telling my husband. You know, I feel like I'm spending a lot of money. I have to buy these certain, you know, vitamins. I have to buy stuff for joint pain. I have to buy Tylenol and Aleve. It's a lot to this job to make it to where I can be comfortable to do the job. That's a con. That's definitely a con. And I think that's it. That's all that I have at the moment. So when I count, I have 10 pros. And the 10 pros were paid every week. And the pay was base pay is 15, at least 15 an hour. We make even more than 15 an hour down here, base pay. But across everywhere is 15 is what Amazon will start at. They won't start you at lower than 15. Okay, so number 3 was it's easy to get hired. Number 4, easy to take off, no explanation. Number 5, 5-minute grace period. Number 6, lax dress code. Number 7, PPE is provided. Number 8, the schedule, 4 days on, 3 days off. And you can work overtime as much as you want. And they have great benefits. So we have 10 pros and we have 8 cons. I have 8 cons. And the cons were physical labor. You're on your feet the whole time. You have to meet rate. No music. The breaks are not enough. And then you have long hours. You have to wear your hair up and steel toe shoes. So really, looking at this on paper, the benefits actually outweigh the cons. But that's something you have to decide for yourself. I can't decide that for you, but I really hope this video helps you out. Like I said, when those young ladies asked me that question, I was like, I really need to make a video on that, because a lot of people ask me that. You know, what are the pros and cons of it? I always say, give anything your best shot. That's the way I feel. I'm going to give it my best shot. If I fail, I fail. But at least benefit yourself from it, you know, and, you know, when you're making the money that you want, save it, use it wisely, pay off bills. That's my goal. Pay off bills. I have student loans I'm trying to get rid of, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to do what I can while I can, get ahead, save up some money. And then, you know, Amazon doesn't expect you to work this job your whole life. They know that people are leaving like flies. They know that. That's why they hire you so easily, because people come and they go. That's it. They don't expect you to come and stay. They just don't. If you do, they're glad because you're a benefit to them. But if you leave, they're not hurt. I just come to realize that. So you get what you can and you do what you can while you're there. And then you move on if that's what you need to do. But leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you've been thinking about working for Amazon. Do you already work for Amazon? Yeah, let me know. I'd like to know. And please make sure that you're subscribed, because I'll be dropping more videos as long as I'm there, and I'll be giving you what knowledge I've learned and anything that I think it will help you and benefit you. Yes, please make sure you're subscribed. Leave me a comment down below, and hopefully I'll be seeing you in my next video.